98.9% of you are not subscribed. Enter and subscribe because of the amount of 1,000 subscribers I will post a very special video for you. The year was 2475, and the galaxy was teeming with life, both familiar and alien. Among the myriad of civilizations, the United Earth Federation, UEF, and the Zalara Dominion were two of the most prominent. Their relationship, however, was fraught with tension and mistrust. For years, the two powers had eyed each other warily across the stars, their interactions marked by suspicion and diplomatic standoffs. The UEF, a coalition of human-inhabited worlds, prided itself on its spirit of exploration and innovation. The Zalara Dominion, a powerful and ancient civilization, valued tradition, order, and a strict hierarchical society. The cultural differences between the two were vast, and attempts at diplomacy had often ended in frustration. Amidst this backdrop of interstellar politics, the UEF and the Zalara Dominion agreed to a historic exchange program. Each would send a diplomat to the other's capital, a gesture aimed at fostering understanding and cooperation. The UEF selected Captain Michael Hawke, a decorated officer known for his charisma and diplomatic skills. The Zalara Dominion chose Lady Eloria Xanthi, a high-ranking diplomat renowned for her intelligence and dedication to her people. Lady Eloria Xanthi stood on the observation deck of the Zalara Envoy, the sleek silver ship that would take her to Earth. Her striking features, typical of the Zalara, were both beautiful and intimidating. Pale, almost luminescent skin, sharp cheekbones, and eyes that glowed with an inner light. Her flowing robes, adorned with intricate patterns and symbols, marked her status and authority. "Lady Xanthi, we are approaching Earth," the ship's pilot announced, breaking her reverie. "Thank you, Commander Thalrak," she replied, her voice calm and measured. "Prepare for landing." As the Zalara envoy descended towards New Avalon, Earth's capital city, Eloria felt a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. She had read extensively about humans and their culture, but this would be her first time interacting with them directly. Despite her professional demeanor, she couldn't shake the unease that came with venturing into the heart of a civilization she had long viewed with suspicion. The reception at the UEF headquarters was grand and meticulously planned. Dignitaries from across the Federation had gathered to welcome the Zalara delegation. Captain Michael Hawke, dressed in his formal uniform, stood at the forefront of the welcoming committee. His tall, athletic frame and easy smile made him an imposing yet approachable figure. "Welcome to Earth, Lady Xanthi," Hawke greeted her with a slight bow. "We are honored to have you here." Eloria inclined her head, her expression composed. "Thank you, Captain Hawke. The honor is mine." The initial formalities were followed by a tour of New Avalon. The city was a marvel of human ingenuity, a blend of advanced technology and natural beauty. Skyscrapers made of glass and steel reached towards the sky, while parks and gardens provided lush green spaces amidst the urban landscape. As they walked, Hawke attempted to engage Eloria in conversation. "I hope you find New Avalon to your liking. It's one of our proudest achievements." "It is impressive," Eloria admitted. "Your people have a unique approach to urban design. There is a certain vibrancy to it." Hawke smiled. "We do our best to make our cities livable and inspiring. It's important for us to balance progress with nature." Eloria nodded, though her thoughts were elsewhere. The warmth and openness of the humans were disarming, and she found herself questioning her preconceived notions about them. The following weeks were a whirlwind of diplomatic meetings and cultural exchanges. Eloria attended sessions of the UEF Senate, visited research facilities, and participated in various social events. Throughout it all, Hawke was her constant companion, guiding her through the intricacies of human society and making sure she felt welcomed. Despite her initial reservations, Eloria began to appreciate the humans' qualities, their resilience, creativity, and genuine curiosity about the universe. Hawke, in particular, intrigued her. He was intelligent, compassionate, and had a way of making even the most mundane topics interesting. One evening, after a particularly intense day of negotiations, Hawke suggested they take a break. "How about a visit to the botanical gardens? It's a quiet place, and I think you'll enjoy it." Eloria agreed, and they made their way to the gardens. a sprawling oasis of greenery and tranquility in the heart of the city. As they walked along the winding paths, surrounded by exotic plants and the soothing sound of water features, Eloria found herself relaxing. "It's beautiful here," she said softly. "I didn't expect to find such a place in the midst of the city." Hawk smiled. "It's one of my favorite spots. Sometimes it's good to step away from the hustle and bustle and just enjoy the simple things." They sat on a bench overlooking a serene pond, the setting sun casting a golden glow over the water. For a moment, the weight of their respective duties and the tension between their civilizations seemed to fade away. "Tell me, Captain," Eloria began, her tone thoughtful, "what do you think is the most important quality for a diplomat?" Hawk considered her question. "Empathy, I think. The ability to understand and respect other perspectives, even when they're different from your own. It's the foundation of any meaningful dialogue." Eloria nodded. "I agree. It's something I strive for, though it's not always easy." Hawk looked at her, his expression sincere. "I think you're doing a great job, Lady Xanthi. You've been open-minded and willing to engage with us, and that means a lot." Eloria felt a warmth in her chest at his words. "Thank you, Captain. I must admit my time here has challenged many of my preconceptions about humans." Hawk chuckled. "We're not so bad once you get to know us." As the days turned into weeks, Eloria and Hawk's professional relationship began to deepen into something more personal. They shared stories of their respective worlds, their cultures, and their dreams for the future. The more they talked, the more they realized how much they had in common, despite the differences between their species. One evening, during a reception at the UEF embassy, Eloria found herself feeling uncharacteristically nervous. She'd been invited to deliver a speech about her experiences on Earth, and while she was accustomed to public speaking, this felt different. Hawk noticed her unease and approached her. "Are you all right?" Eloria took a deep breath. "I'm just a bit anxious. This speech feels more personal than most." Hawk gave her a reassuring smile. "You'll do great. Just speak from the heart." Eloria nodded, taking comfort in his words. As she stood before the gathered dignitaries and guests, she felt a surge of confidence. "Honored guests, colleagues, and friends," she began. "My time on Earth has been a journey of discovery and understanding. When I first arrived, I was uncertain about what to expect. I had my reservations and my doubts. But over the past weeks, I've come to see the true spirit of humanity. Your resilience, your creativity, and your kindness." She glanced at Hawk, who gave her an encouraging nod. "I have learned that despite our differences, we share common values and aspirations. We all seek peace, prosperity, and a better future for our people. And it is through empathy and understanding that we can bridge the gaps between us." The room erupted in applause, and Eloria felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. As she stepped down from the podium, Hawk was there to greet her. "That was amazing," he said, his eyes shining with admiration. "You really captured the essence of what we're trying to achieve." Eloria smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her. "Thank you, Michael. I couldn't have done it without your support." In the weeks that followed, the bond between Eloria and Hawk continued to grow. They spent more time together, both professionally and personally, and their mutual respect and admiration deepened into something neither of them had anticipated. One evening, as they walked through the botanical gardens, Hawk turned to Eloria with a serious expression. "Eloria, I need to tell you something." She looked at him, her heart pounding. "What is it, Michael?" He took a deep breath. "I know this might be complicated, given our positions and the situation between our people, but I've grown to care for you deeply, more than I ever expected." Eloria felt a surge of emotion. "Michael, I feel the same way. I never imagined that I would find someone like you, especially here on Earth." Hawk took her hands in his. "I know it won't be easy, but I believe we can make this work. Together, we can show our people that understanding and love can bridge even the widest divides." Eloria smiled, her eyes filled with tears of joy. "I believe that too. Let's face the future together, with hope and determination." As they stood there, hand in hand, The garden around them seemed to glow with the promise of a brighter future. They knew that their journey would be challenging, but they were ready to face it together, united by their love and their shared vision of a better galaxy. The relationship between Captain Michael Hawke and Lady Eloria Xanthi had blossomed against the backdrop of interstellar politics and cultural differences. Their connection, however, was far from simple. Both were aware that their burgeoning romance would face significant obstacles, not least from their respective governments and the prejudices of their people. Back on the Zalara envoy, Lady Eloria prepared for a secure communication with the Zalara Dominion's High Council. Her thoughts were a whirlwind of emotions, excitement about her experiences on Earth, and anxiety about how her report would be received. The holographic forms of the High Council appeared before her, their expressions a mix of curiosity and sternness. High Counselor Varian, a respected elder, spoke first. "Lady Xanthi, we have received your preliminary reports. It appears your time on Earth has been eventful." Eloria nodded, maintaining her composure. "Indeed, High Counselor. The humans have shown remarkable qualities, resilience, creativity, and a genuine desire for peace. I believe we have much to learn from them." Counselor Liara, known for her critical stance towards humanity, leaned forward. "And what of their flaws? Have you not encountered their impulsiveness, their lack of discipline?" Eloria chose her words carefully. "While it is true that humans can be impulsive, it is also their adaptability and openness to change that makes them resilient. Their society values individual freedom and innovation, which has led to remarkable advancements." Varian regarded her thoughtfully. "Your insights are valuable, Lady Xanthi. However, we must also consider the potential risks of closer ties with the UEF. We will deliberate on your findings further." As the holographic forms of the counselors faded, Eloria felt a sense of relief mingled with uncertainty. She had presented her case, but the true test would be how her experiences and burgeoning relationship with Hawke would influence future deliberations. Meanwhile, Captain Michael Hawke faced his own set of challenges. The UEF Senate had called for a special session to discuss the ongoing diplomatic efforts with the Zalara Dominion. Hawke knew that his relationship with Eloria would come under scrutiny, and he needed to navigate the political landscape with care. In the Grand Chamber of the UEF Senate, senators and dignitaries from across the Federation had gathered. The atmosphere was tense, with anticipation and curiosity hanging in the air. Hawke took his place at the podium, ready to address the assembly. "Honored senators, esteemed colleagues," he began, his voice steady. "My time with Lady Eloria Xanthi has been enlightening. The Zalara people, despite our differences, share many of our core values. They seek peace, prosperity, and a future free from conflict." Senator Marcus Drayton, known for his hawkish views, interjected. "Captain Hawke, while we appreciate your diplomatic efforts, there are concerns about the potential influence of the Zalara on our society. How do you propose we address these concerns?" Hawke met Drayton's gaze with unwavering resolve. "Senator, it is precisely through understanding and mutual respect that we can address any potential influence. By working together, we can strengthen our societies and ensure that our differences become sources of growth rather than conflict." As Hawke continued to speak, he could see nods of agreement from several senators, though skepticism remained. He concluded with a call for unity and cooperation, emphasizing the shared future that lay ahead if they could bridge their divides. The session ended with mixed reactions, but Hawke felt a sense of accomplishment. He had made his case, and now it was up to the senators to deliberate and decide on the future course of their relationship with the Zalara Dominion. In the days that followed, Eloria and Hawke found solace in each other's company. They shared their experiences, their hopes, and their fears, drawing strength from their bond. One evening, as they walked through the botanical gardens, Eloria turned to Hawke with a thoughtful expression. "Michael, do you ever wonder if we're moving too fast? That maybe the galaxy isn't ready for this?" she asked, her voice tinged with uncertainty. Hawke took her hand, his touch gentle and reassuring. "Eloria, change is never easy, and there will always be those who resist it. But I believe that what we're doing is important. We're showing our people that it's possible to find common ground, even in the most unlikely places." Aloria nodded, feeling a sense of comfort in his words. "You're right. We have to believe in what we're doing, and in each other." Their relationship, while deepening, was not without its challenges. The political and cultural pressures weighed heavily on them, and they knew that their every move was being scrutinized by both the UEF and the Zalara Dominion. But their shared determination and growing love for each other provided a source of strength and hope. One evening, as they sat together in the botanical gardens, Aloria received an urgent communication from Commander Thalrak. "Lady Xanthi, we've detected a disturbance in the Vega sector. A group of rogue elements is threatening a Zalara research station. The High Council requests your immediate return." Aloria's heart sank. She had known that her mission on Earth would eventually come to an end, but she hadn't expected it to be so abrupt. She turned to Hawk, her expression filled with regret. "Michael, I have to go. My people need me." Hawk's face was a mask of concern and determination. "I understand, Aloria, but you don't have to face this alone. Let me come with you. Together we can handle whatever threats arise." Aloria hesitated for a moment, but then she nodded. "Thank you, Michael. Your support means more to me than you know." The journey to the Vega sector was tense, with the threat of rogue elements looming large. The Zalara research station, situated on a remote moon, was of significant strategic importance, and its loss would be a severe blow to the Dominion. As they approached the sector, the Misfits' sensors detected a fleet of heavily armed ships surrounding the research station. The Rogues, a coalition of disaffected elements from various species, had grown increasingly bold in their attacks, seeking to destabilize the region. "Captain Hawk, we're outnumbered and outgunned," Lieutenant Thorne reported, "but we can't let them take the station." Hawk nodded, his expression resolute. "We'll use the Misfits' modular systems to our advantage. Thorne, prepare the drone swarms. Jensen, get the modular armor ready. We're going in." The Misfits surged forward, its drones creating a chaotic battlefield as they swarmed the rogue ships. The modular armor shifted to absorb and deflect incoming fire, while the ship's diverse weaponry unleashed a relentless barrage on the attackers. As the battle raged, Aloria coordinated with the Zalara forces on the ground, providing strategic guidance and support. Her presence and leadership inspired confidence among the defenders, bolstering their resolve. With the combined efforts of the Misfit and the Zalara forces, the tide of the battle began to turn. The rogue elements, caught off guard by the coordinated assault, struggled to maintain their positions. One by one, their ships were disabled or destroyed, and the remaining forces were driven into retreat. As the last of the rogue ships fled the sector, a cheer went up among the defenders. The research station had been saved, and the threat had been neutralized. Aloria and Hawk stood together on the bridge, their expressions filled with relief and triumph. "We did it," Aloria said softly, her eyes shining with pride. Hawk smiled, his heart swelling with admiration for her. "Yes, we did, and we did it together." In the aftermath of the battle, the Misfit returned to Earth, where Aloria and Hawk were hailed as heroes. Their successful defense of the research station had strengthened the bond between the UEF and the Zalara Dominion, proving that cooperation and mutual respect could lead to great achievements. As they stood before the UEF Senate and the High Council of the Zalara Dominion, Aloria and Hawk knew that their journey was far from over. There would be more challenges ahead, but they were ready to face them together, united by their love and their shared vision of a brighter future. "Honored senators, esteemed counselors," Aloria began, her voice filled with conviction. "Our success in the Vega sector is a testament to what we can achieve when we work together. Let us continue to build on this foundation, forging a future of peace and cooperation." The room erupted in applause, and Aloria felt a sense of pride and hope. She turned to Hawk, who gave her a reassuring nod. "We've come a long way, Aloria," he said, "and this is just the beginning." As they looked out over the gathered dignitaries and guests, they knew that their journey would be filled with challenges, but also with the promise of new discoveries and adventures. Together, they were ready to face whatever the future held, united by their love and their commitment to a better galaxy. The successful defense of the Vega sector had strengthened the burgeoning alliance between the United Earth Federation, UEF, and the Zalara Dominion. Captain Michael Hawke and Lady Aloria Xanthi were hailed as heroes, their leadership and cooperation standing as a testament to the potential for unity between their civilizations. Despite the accolades, the challenges they faced were far from over. Both the UEF and the Zalara Dominion had factions that remained deeply skeptical of the alliance. Hawke and Aloria knew that their relationship would continue to be scrutinized, and their every move would be watched closely. Back on Earth, the UEF Senate convened to discuss the future of the alliance. Senator Marcus Drayton, one of the more vocal skeptics, called for a special session to evaluate the progress and potential risks of continued cooperation with the Zalara. "The recent success in the Vega sector is commendable," Drayton began, his tone measured but firm. "However, we must consider the long-term implications of this alliance. Are we compromising our values and security in the process?" Captain Hawke stood before the Senate, his expression resolute. "Senator Drayton, the alliance with the Zalara Dominion has proven to be beneficial for both our civilizations. By working together, we've been able to achieve what neither of us could alone. It's not about compromising our values, but rather about finding common ground and strengthening our collective security." Senator Lena Morales, a staunch supporter of the alliance, rose to speak. "Captain Hawke is right. The success in the Vega sector is just the beginning. We have an opportunity to build something greater, a future where our differences are our strengths, not our weaknesses." As the Senate debated, Lady Aloria Xanthi addressed the High Council of the Zalara Dominion. Her reception was similarly mixed, with some councilors expressing concerns about the influence of human culture on their society. "Lady Xanthi, while your efforts have undoubtedly been successful, we must be cautious," Councillor Liara said. "The UEF is still a relatively young and unpredictable power. How can we be sure that this alliance will not lead us astray?" Aloria met Liara's gaze with calm determination. "Councillor, the UEF's youth is also its strength. Their adaptability and willingness to embrace new ideas have led to remarkable advancements. We have much to learn from each other, and by working together, we can create a future that benefits all." The deliberations in both the UEF Senate and the Zalara High Council were intense and lengthy. In the end, a cautious but optimistic consensus was reached. The alliance would continue, with increased efforts to promote cultural exchange and mutual understanding. With the political hurdles temporarily set aside, Aloria and Hawke found a moment of respite. They took a walk through the botanical gardens, a place that had become special to them both. The tranquility of the gardens provided a stark contrast to the tension of their political duties. "Michael, do you ever wonder what the future holds for us?" Aloria asked, her voice soft and contemplative. Hawke smiled, his gaze steady. "I think about it all the time, but I know that as long as we're together, we can handle whatever comes our way." Aloria reached for his hand, feeling a sense of peace. "I believe that too. We've already overcome so much. I'm confident we can face whatever challenges lie ahead." Their relationship continued to deepen, and with it, their commitment to their shared vision of a united galaxy. They knew that their bond was a symbol of hope and possibility for their people, and they were determined to lead by example. One evening, as they sat together under the stars, Aloria shared a piece of her culture with Hawke. She produced a small, intricately carved box from her belongings. "This is a Zalara artifact known as a Luminaris. It's a symbol of unity and enlightenment, passed down through generations." Hawke examined the artifact, marveling at its craftsmanship. "It's beautiful. What does it represent?" Aloria smiled. "The Luminaris is meant to remind us that even in the darkest times there is always light. It symbolizes the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of seeking knowledge and understanding." Hawke's expression softened. "Thank you for sharing this with me, Aloria. It's a perfect symbol for what we're trying to achieve." As the weeks turned into months, the alliance between the UEF and the Zalara Dominion continued to strengthen. Joint scientific endeavors led to breakthroughs in energy and medical technology, while cultural exchanges fostered a deeper appreciation for each other's traditions and values. Aloria and Hawke's relationship, once a source of contention, became a beacon of hope for many. They were invited to speak at various forums and events, sharing their experiences and advocating for unity and cooperation. During one such event, a grand celebration marking the anniversary of the alliance, Aloria and Hawke addressed a gathering of dignitaries and citizens from both civilizations. The atmosphere was one of optimism and anticipation. "Honored guests, friends and allies," Aloria began, her voice resonating with passion. "Today, we celebrate not just an alliance, but the beginning of a new era. An era where we embrace our differences and find strength in our unity." Hawke continued, his tone equally inspiring. "Together, we've faced challenges and achieved great things. But this is only the beginning. By continuing to work together, we can build a future that is brighter and more prosperous for all." The audience erupted in applause, their faces filled with hope and determination. Aloria and Hawke exchanged a glance, knowing that their journey was far from over, but feeling a deep sense of accomplishment and pride in what they had achieved. In the months that followed, their efforts bore fruit. The joint initiatives between the UEF and the Zalara Dominion led to unprecedented advancements in technology, trade, and cultural understanding. The initial skepticism and resistance gradually gave way to acceptance and support. One day, as they walked through the halls of the UEF Senate, Aloria received an urgent communication from the High Council. "Lady Xanthi, we have received intelligence of a potential threat from a rogue faction in the Andromeda Expanse. They seek to disrupt the peace we have worked so hard to achieve." Hawke's expression grew serious. "We need to address this threat head-on. We can't let them undermine everything we've built." Aloria nodded. "Agreed. Let's assemble a joint task force and neutralize the threat before it can escalate." The task force, comprised of UEF and Zalara ships, set course for the Andromeda Expanse. The rogue faction, a group of dissidents opposed to the Alliance, had amassed a considerable force and posed a significant threat to the region's stability. As they approached the faction's stronghold, Hawke and Aloria coordinated the assault, their combined leadership and strategic acumen proving invaluable. The battle was intense, with both sides fighting fiercely for their respective causes. Despite the ferocity of the opposition, the joint task force prevailed. The rogue faction was dismantled, and its leaders were captured. The victory was a testament to the strength and resilience of the Alliance, and it sent a clear message to any who would oppose it. In the aftermath of the battle, Aloria and Hawke stood together on the Bridge of the Misfit, looking out over the now secure region. "We did it," Aloria said, her voice filled with relief and pride. Hawke smiled, his hand resting on hers. "Yes, we did, and we did it together." Their relationship, forged in the crucible of interstellar politics and conflict, had proven to be a powerful force for good. They had shown their people that unity and cooperation could overcome even the most formidable challenges. As they returned to their respective duties, they knew that their journey was far from over. There would be more trials and tribulations, but they were ready to face them together, united by their love and their shared vision of a better future. In the years that followed, the alliance between the UEF and the Zalara Dominion continued to flourish. Aloria and Hawke's relationship became a symbol of hope and possibility, inspiring countless others to seek understanding and cooperation. Their story, once filled with uncertainty and doubt, had become a testament to the power of love and unity. They had bridged the divide between their civilizations and paved the way for a brighter, more harmonious galaxy. And so, as they looked out over the stars, they knew that their journey, and the journey of their people, would continue. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident in the knowledge that love and unity could overcome even the greatest of obstacles. Thus ended the third chapter of their extraordinary journey, with new challenges, alliances, and discoveries awaiting them in the chapters to come. The end.